Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Recipe Redemption. Today's video is long overdue, and it's a taste test of the Impossible Burger. I've had a lot of different vegetarian and vegan meat substitute products, both that I've actually shown you on video and as well as off. And some are good, some are bad, as can be expected from just a survey of the available products on the market. There's going to be some good and some bad. None, however, succeeded in the task of actually replacing the original meat. None of them were indistinguishable from the original, and most were far, far from the original. Doesn't mean that they weren't good in their own right. Some of them were quite tasty and quite enjoyable to eat, but they weren't replacement. The chicken was very definitely made out of either gluten, like fried gluten, or seitan, kind of a sort of fruit-based meat substitute. The fish was just weird. The beef was really grainy. Was very definitely made of like grains and legumes. Same with the vegetarian barbecue pulled pork. Not close. Sausages, because they were kind of ground up, they got the closest because they already had just the texture of something that's ground up and then packed into a tube. But still, they didn't quite have the same flavor or texture as the original product. So I've been kind of looking forward to trying out the Impossible Burger. I've never tried one before. So supposedly, the people who developed it, they actually took apart ground beef, actual hamburger, and went through and figured out what all the chemical components actually do in a burger. I mean, a lot of people just think it's meat, but what do the chemical components actually do? The fat might contribute to the mouthfeel. The proteins act as a binder. Once it cooks, they sort of contract and they hold everything together. Specific proteins also and the fat have a very specific flavor profile. What percentage of salt, sodium, is actually present in there? Does the myoglobin actually do anything? And so they looked at all those and they said, okay, what edible vegetable products do those things, and can they be combined into something that looks, tastes, feels, smells, bleeds like meat? And so they had like beet, they added some beet juice so that the meat actually sort of kind of bleeds. It has that sort of pink color to it, that sort of thing. So I've got two burgers. I got a regular ground beef, 100% ground beef burger, and I got an Impossible Burger. And I want to try them out now. First, now, my regular burger I accidentally got with cheese, and the Impossible one doesn't. But I have a section here that doesn't have any cheese on it, so I'm going to take a little bite. And this is just a regular burger. About what you'd expect. Mind you, this little sort of arc of the burger has no sauce. I got no onion or pickle or mayonnaise or lettuce or anything. It's just the beef and a little bit of bun. So it's pretty plain. I like the fact that they didn't load the beef patty with a whole lot of salt. there are some chains that their burgers are actually quite salty. It's about what you'd expect from a beef burger. It's pretty well cooked. It's not. There is just the tiniest hint of pink. Obviously, fast food places, they don't want to serve anything undercooked because they're worried about giving everybody E. coli. So you're typically not going. I could just be imagining the pink, but it's not dry and chewy. If you overcook a burger, it starts to turn into kind of shoe leather. Now, I have the Impossible Burger, and again, I want to get a bite that is just burger and a little bit of bun and nothing else. So, careful. Okay. Very similar flavor profile. It helps they're grilled in the same way. There is a definite meaty umami flavor to it. The texture is actually very, very close. I'm going to say that it's 99% of the way there. There's still a little something, I'm not quite sure what, that feels just a little bit different. Let's go back and compare here. Okay. Shove that pickle out of the way. Okay. I know what it is. So, let's see if this will show up on the camera. Okay. Now look at this. This is a beef patty. And look at the irregularity of it. If you were to look really close, I don't know if this is going to focus. It sort of is. As much as the beef is passed through a die when it's ground, and it's of at least as small as the hole that it's passing through, but some of the particles might be smaller, as opposed to the Impossible Burger. It doesn't look like it, but it is, at least in the mouthfeel, it is that just tiny bit smoother, more uniform, because it is actually mixed together. Its components are more finely processed or refined or whatever, before they're mixed together and formed into the patty, such that you never get clumps of the product, the meat, if you will, of the burger. And so once they form into patty and you cook it, in the mouth it feels just a little bit smoother, like the pieces. And I suppose you could achieve that if you ground the beef more finely until you turned it into a pink paste, and then extruded it into a burger. That piece of onion was dangling out of the burger and it was bugging me. I might be OCD. I don't know. That being said, also aside from the fact that the edge of this burger is also smoother, because it was formed in a mold, and I think, well, I don't know. I mean, this is a fast food burger after all. I don't know if the beef burger patties were actually formed in a mold, and if it's this slightly craggier, irregular edge, may again be the result of the meat itself not being ground into a slurry that it doesn't conform to the sides of the mold perfectly, whereas the Impossible Burger does. I mean, these are very, very nitpicky, small distinctions that say, yes, I can tell this is an Impossible Burger. However, that being said, it does make for a reasonably enjoyable burger experience. I'm happy to eat that. It's quite good. Now it's obviously well cooked all the way through. So the beet juice edition that I've heard about, I've done a little bit of reading on the Impossible Burger, is kind of a moot point because it gets cooked out. So this burger is not going to bleed, but the uncooked, the raw burger patty, or if you actually get it as just a kind of the faux ground beef, it will have that pink appearance. It will look like ground beef. I've seen it in the store. I have not really looked at it very, very closely to see if it's visually, if the raw meat is indistinguishable from ground beef. But from what I understand, they've managed it. It's hard to separate because I see the Impossible across the entire package. So it's kind of hard to ignore the fact that you are not looking at beef, you are looking at a beef substitute. But they seem to have come up with a very good quality product that does replace ground beef. I have yet to see anyone do a convincible vegan steak. When they develop that technology, I will say they finally arrived. But as far as ground meat, this is actually a very good substitute if you're looking for the burger experience, but still want to remain vegetarian or vegan. Can you do bread if you're a vegan? I guess nothing egg based or dairy based, but regular bread should be fine, I think. So it's just really the mayonnaise on this that you need to look out for. Find a substitute for the mayonnaise. But other than that, this is a conscience clear burger that I would highly recommend. This is not sponsored. Nobody paid me. I bought this with my own money. It's actually a perfectly acceptable burger. I'm impressed. So, what do you think? Have you tried the Impossible Burger? Have you found any other meat substitute products that actually fit the bill, that convincingly replace the original? Let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, I will see you next time here on Recipe Redemption. I'm going to finish my burger.